Oh, buddy. This week, again, I feel like Kirk Cousins. But the Kirk Cousins that started against the Steelers, not the one that won the game against the Eagles. The Patriots lost against the Seahawks in overtime. The Pirates might not pay out. And, yeah, we kind of have to go over this.
Cat Williams, I gave you the truth, so I'ma get mines.
He is not gay. Man, shit is hitting the fan over here. The doll fan. So let's get into it. This week has been crazy. Episode 120 of Hoagies N Pierogis. Let's go.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies N Pierogis.
The ski stash! The ski stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beijers go drink, man. Let's go!
Now, first off, get used to the hair because next week it's going to be gone. It's going to be way gone. Kind of have to. Not going to tell you why on the podcast, but and the Pirates aren't going to make the playoffs anyway, so yeah, it's time for a haircut. But like I said in the intro, they might not even pay out my bet that I was so sure that they would hit after they swept the Marlins last week. Well, things are kind of going in the opposite direction. They have lost 4 out of their past 5 games. You know, taking 1 from Kansas City, fine, I expected that. But losing the first 2 games of the series against St. Louis, was not really expecting that, especially since Skeen started on Monday night. Yeah, I'm not really sure if they're going to hit that 76 wins that they have to hit. They're sitting at 71 right now with 12 games left. They have 2 more up against the Cardinals, 3 against Cincinnati, 3 against the Brewers, and then 3 against New York to round out the season. So, especially those last 6 games, you're going to want to get all the wins you can now against the Cardinals and the Reds. Please, please. Oh, I beg of you, please. I wouldn't mind if Pirates catcher has pulled a Derek Bender to try and get Shelton fired. The Twins released minor league catcher Derek Bender on Thursday after he told opposing hitters the pitch that was coming during at-bats of a game last week that eliminated his team from playoff contention. That is crazy. That is a whole other level of, I don't even know. Would you even call that cheating? I would just call that like bad sportsmanship. You don't want to play the extra playoff games and get paid just like a little bit more for being in the minor leagues? What? He must not have wanted to play baseball at all because this was obviously going to get him released. And no one's ever going to sign him again after this. There's no doubt in my mind. If it got Shelton fired, I'd be totally for it. Get Grandal to do it. Get Grandal to do it so that way we can say goodbye to him forever. And hey, I'll be the last one breaking the news to you. Adrian Wojnarowski is retiring from ESPN. He's going to work for a local sports team, I guess, but he's no longer going to be breaking news for the NBA. He was the NBA's version of Adam Schefter, obviously. And you know what? Woj is what Adam Schefter wish he could be. Okay, before we get into football and my terrible bets this week, I'm not even going to go over them that much. New federal betting advertisement regulations have been proposed by lawmakers as a means to help curb the country's crippling gambling addiction, and one of the rules is banning betting commercials from the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I love that. Which means they'll now be in the same block as sexy hotline commercials. Feeling lonely? Why don't you come talk to us? Hot singles are waiting for you. Call within the next 30 minutes and get a free $10 bet on DraftKings for a chance to make this call even sweeter. Free bet awarded after 1 hour on the hotline. Restrictions apply. Calls will be recorded for quality assurance and leaked online at a later date. If you have a problem gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I think that this law is excellent, and you know what? I don't want to see those fucking commercials anymore. And this law also that was proposed includes not putting prop bets on players in college football, which in Pennsylvania I already can't do, but I was in Delaware for my buddy's wedding last year. You can place bets on college players to have like over under receiving yards, over under catches. I thought that was crazy. That's like way too much. That's a little bit too much. I don't even do that in the NFL that often. So yeah, just a little bit of change would be nice, and I do think that this would help just the slightest. But let's get into college football, and this is the greatest news of the season. It will be the greatest news. The Pac-12 isn't going anywhere. No way. The Mountain West is going to kill it and wear its skin around like a fucking freak. But yeah, congratulations to the Pac-12. It's Fresno State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Boise State have all applied to be in the Pac-12 starting next year. So it isn't going anywhere. And actually, Barstool dubbed it the six-pack, which I love. And oh yeah, just a quick mention from last week. I didn't know what the interviewer was talking about when she mentioned the boneyard in regards to NIU when she was interviewing the coach. But now I see that they have an actual boneyard of conference or Power 5 teams that they've beat. It's honestly a really cool idea. I love them for being creative with it. All right, but yeah, let's get into week 3 of college football. We may as well start with it. FSU is 0-3 after losing to Memphis 20-12. I bet on them. I said Florida State money line. There's no way they lose 3 games in a row. Well, they fucking did. And DJ Ukulele is, I mean, what is this team doing? They have no identity at all. They look completely lost out there. They can't move the football whatsoever. The defense can't stop the run at all. Every other play is a first down for the other team. It's really bad. So, yeah, FSU, get your shit together. After bitching and complaining so much last year, you would think you would want to make a good impression. And then another game in the 12 o'clock time slot, South Carolina and LSU. This had to have been the game of the year so far. This was a great game. LSU came away with a win after South Carolina missed the game-tying field goal. So LSU won 36-33. But, oh, my God, South Carolina squandered that. Now, we had a whole bunch of complaining going on. One of my buddies is a South Carolina fan. He was bitching up a storm that illegal block, I guess it would be, on South Carolina. What was that guy thinking? Pushing down the quarterback like that, and then all of a sudden just holding his hands up. Like, obviously you're going to get called when he's not looking at you and you shove him down. Yeah, it was from the front, but it's technically a blindside block. I hate to break it to you. But when he's not looking at you, especially the quarterback, and I know at that point he's a defender after the defender intercepts the ball. I know that. I get that. But you cannot do that. You can't do that to anyone. I think that would have been called on anyone, not just the quarterback. So there were a lot of penalties on South Carolina. They kind of blew the game in that way. But right before halftime, their starting quarterback looked like he sprained his ankle or something. I didn't look into it afterwards. Sellers was looking strong the entire first half. And if he would have stayed in the game, I think they would have won. But even when the backup came in, they still had their opportunities. This seems to be a coaching issue on their part. This was not on the refs, in my opinion. I watched the whole thing. I did watch the whole game. And he was like, "No, you guys just can't see it," because my buddy did end up going to the game. He was like, "No, you just didn't see that. You're just not live here. If you were at the game, you would have seen it." You're right. I didn't see it when I, am seeing it from 7 different angles right up in their butthole. Come on. Okay. Kansas State beat the shit out of Arizona. Arizona shit the bed on Friday night. There wasn't any question that Kansas State was going to win this game. Okay, rest of the games on Saturday with the top 25 here. Georgia almost lost to Kentucky. I don't know what was going on in this game. This seemed like a defensive slugfest and not a pretty one. Texas 56-7 against UTSA. Arch Manning busting out a 65-yard rushing touchdown. You would have never seen that from Eli or Peyton. They get the win pretty handily, 56-7. Alabama cruises against Wisconsin, whose quarterback tore his ACL. They won 42-10. Ole Miss. Oh, it was no question. Are you kidding me? So last week when I recorded, it was 24.5 points for Ole Miss was the favorite by. And then at game time, it was all the way down to 20.5. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ole Miss, thank you again. Third week in a row. Third week you hit the spread. Cover the spread. 40-6. Impressive. All right, Missouri had a hard time with Boston College. I took Missouri to cover 14.5 points. Didn't happen. It wasn't looking good the entire game. Missouri squeaks away with that one, 27-21. Tennessee destroyed Kent State, 71-0. Oregon actually took care of Oregon State, 49-14. They really kind of quelled any concerns that I had about them last week. Miami 62-0. Penn State had a bye week. Utah 38-21 against Utah State. Oklahoma State 45-10 against Tulsa. Oklahoma won. Like I said, LSU won 36-33 against South Carolina. Michigan won 28-18 against Arkansas State. Nebraska won 34-3 against Northern Iowa. And this was like the second, like, my pick of the week that I absolutely got crushed on. I put my money on Purdue, just straight up money line. Notre Dame proved that they can put points up on the board. They won 66-7. But yeah, Tennessee looked obviously very impressive. Ole Miss continues to blow my fucking balls off. I love it. Texas looked great with Arch Manning, even if Quinn Ewers is out for an extended period of time. Let's go over the top 25 here. With that win that Texas had, and because Georgia struggled so much against Kentucky, Texas is now number 1 in the AP poll. Georgia down to number 2. Things stay the same. Ohio State 3, Alabama 4, Ole Miss 5. Tennessee moves up 1 spot to number 6. Missouri down 1 to 7. This proves to me that they're willing, extremely willing, to move teams down more this year than in previous years for having bad games. I really don't think you would have seen this in previous years, moving Texas ahead of Georgia, even though Texas played UTSA. So I really like that that the AP poll at least is being a little bit less partial to the, traditional powerhouses. Miami up 2, which kind of sucks because Penn State, even on a bye week, gets moved down 2 to number 10. They just switch spots. Oregon State is at number 9. USC 11, Utah 12, Kansas State 1. Sorry, not Kansas State 1. Kansas State moves up 1 to number 13. Notre Dame up 1, Michigan down 1. Because they're playing close games against these bad teams. Northern Illinois up 2. Northern Illinois got moved up 2 just by virtue of having a bye week, and someone got knocked off. I can't see who that is here. But yeah, let's go over. Honestly, it was a pretty boring week. There weren't many teams playing. A lot of teams had bye weeks here in week 3. So let's look forward to week 4. Oh, how about this? I didn't even go over it because this wasn't in the top 25. The backyard brawl. West Virginia was up 34-24 with 5 minutes left to go. Just over 5 minutes, I think. 5.5 minutes, something like that. And they let Pittsburgh score 13 unanswered points to go up 37-34. Man, that 6.5 for West Virginia is looking extremely slim at this point. That was inexcusable. You cannot lose the game up 10 with 5.5 minutes left. You can't do that. What were they thinking? Come on. Garrett Green really isn't as good as I thought he was. I guess Frazier there at center played a huge role in the game. A little bit bigger of one than I thought. Penn State is playing Kent State. We got Nebraska and Illinois on Friday night. That's going to be a really good game. Nebraska number 22. Illinois number 24. Michigan, USC. Ooh, I'm actually really looking forward to this game. Damn. We'll see if Michigan is for real or not. After getting their shit blown out against Texas and playing these close games against, Arkansas State and whoever the fuck they played week 1. I am excited to see this. USC at Michigan at 3:30. Louisville, Georgia Tech. Utah, Oklahoma State will be a really good game, I think. Tennessee, Oklahoma. I think Tennessee is going to blow out Oklahoma who has been struggling to score. Ole Miss plays Georgia Southern. The spread is 35 points, so bet Ole Miss to cover that. And yeah, Texas against UL Monroe, Kansas State against BYU. We have some better matchups this week. Still not the, marquee premier matchups that we're going to be looking forward to later in the year. But yeah, anything else for college football here? Nope, I think that's it. All right, let's get into week 2 of the NFL. And shit got crazy really fast. Like really, really fast. Obviously I'm just going to go through this in chronological order. So this does pertain to the NFL because it has to do with a previous NFL player. I was sitting here on Wednesday about to edit the video, and what do I see getting posted all around Twitter? Shannon Sharp fucking on the Instagram Live. Oh, man, I got to tell you what, though. Unc was putting it down because I was watching like 2.5 minutes. They're in like 2.5 minute clips. Yes, there's more than one. It's like 2.5 minutes. And then like 2 others that are 1.5 minute. But 1.5 minutes into the first clip, I scroll up and I'm like, how long is this? At that point, I thought it was 10 minutes. I mean, that just goes to show like, that one's on me, But damn, Unc really was putting it down. I can't, who knows who that was. It could have just been, some prostitute he hired. But when he started grunting like that, that made me lose my shit. That was so fucking funny. I don't want to say like a gorilla, but he was going at it like a fucking gorilla. It was jarring. Like what? When you hear that, when you're like, I'm not supposed to be hearing this, you're like, oh God. Oh, that was so funny. Oh, Papa. Oh, come on. And then Jason Whitlock's parody of it, of him accidentally filming his, live streaming his lunch, was perfect.
Here you go, baby. Here's that 1/4 pounder with cheese.
Oh, yeah. Look at that sauce. Look, oh, man. That cheese. Oh. Mickey D's. Oh, yeah. You want that Mickey D's, don't you?
So, yeah, that was a little bit wild. And then also on Wednesday, this happened before that. Kyler Murray's comments about not having to give MHJ the ball. Motherfucker, you are the quarterback. It is your job. It is your job to get the best player on the field the ball. It is. It just is. And I guess he learned his lesson, because holy shit, he must have been all over Twitter listening to that backlash of him saying that because he got MHJ the ball a lot this week. We'll go over that. First, Thursday night, Dolphins get blown out by the Bills. What was the final score? 31-10? Yeah. Big takeaway from this. Tua goes to run. Puts his head down into the defender as the defender's trying to tackle him. And I don't know if the tackle was when the concussion started, but he got curled up, hit the ground. Right when he hit the ground, his arm started to raise up into that fencing position, they call it, or posturing or whatever.
For the first down and takes a shot at the 6-yard line. Hamlin hit him and Tua down.
I was watching it live and immediately I was looking for that. I don't know what it is about Tua and Thursday nights, but it's just about as bad as Garfield hates Mondays. Tua should not be playing on Thursdays. How? Well, first off, he didn't even get hit hard. And it really didn't look like he hit the ground that hard. That's the first worrying thing, is that he wasn't hit hard and he didn't hit the ground hard, yet he still went into that fucking fencing position. He was able to get up and walk off the field by himself. And listen, I am going to preface all of this by saying, I hope Tua is okay. I do. I really do. Obviously, I do not want him to die. I want him to be healthy. McDaniel's comments are valid. Sure, absolutely. About him saying that, hey, it's not my say. I can't make the decisions in another man's life. Completely valid. Okay, yes. But asking if he should retire is the only logical next step. It's the only one. He got hit. He got a concussion where he went into the fencing position again, is alive. Now, how can he prevent it from ever happening again? Retirement. That's it. That is the only way. I've never, ever seen this happen multiple times to someone in the NFL. I have never seen this happen once to someone in the NFL going into the fencing position. That's extremely scary. Extremely scary. And they had replays of it the next day where they had a highlight reel of Tua getting concussed on SportsCenter on Friday night. It was wild. That was insane too. And now, not only should he retire, but if he doesn't, the NFL should force him to retire. If he dies on that field, that will be the worst possible outcome for Tua, obviously, but also the league and everyone involved in this situation. If a doctor clears him to play and he comes out on the field and dies, that doctor should lose their medical license. To have these debilitating symptoms of concussions, one of them being killing yourself and killing other people, that's one of the symptoms of CTE, apparently, with Aaron Hernandez and fucking Junior Seau. Tua has said that his plan is to continue playing, and everyone is agreeing with him to make his own choice. That's crazy. Football has been his life. It's his heart and soul. He loves it too much to quit. So as long as you love something enough, you can turn your brain to mush. Oh, I love Whippets, so I'm not going to quit until it turns my brain to mush. You can't stop me because I love it so much. I've put my heart and soul into saving money to buy out all the whipped cream in the tri-state area. I'm never going to stop doing Whippets. Do you know how stupid that fucking sounds? I'm never going to stop getting my head bashed in after my brain is already mush. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. He has to retire. Last time, when this happened 2 years ago, what was I saying? He had to retire. And now we're here all over again having the same exact conversation. This time, I think it's a little bit more serious. He needs to retire. He has, at bare minimum, $90 million waiting for him if he retires because of this concussion. And you think the Dolphins won't pay out that other $70 million? They absolutely will. Take the $160 million and run. Stop playing football. It's not worth it. It really is not worth it at that point.
I think at some point, he's going to live longer and he's going to play football. Take care of your family.
Every player is different, but when somebody has a history of concussions, do you handle that any differently as a head coach?
I'll be honest, I'll just tell him to retire. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Play the game. I haven't witnessed anything like I've seen that's happened to him 3 times. Scary. You can see right away the players' faces on the field. You can see the sense of urgency from everybody to get Tua help. I just think at some point, he's going to live longer and he's going to play football. Take care of your family.
So, there's that. Now let's go over the games. We already said that the Bills won 31-10 against the Dolphins there. Let's go over the Patriots. I was kind of expecting to lose. I didn't expect the game to be this close, though. Seahawks beat the Patriots 23-20 in overtime, and I do think that they should have gone for it on 4th and 1 in overtime, even though that they were on their own 30, their own 20 or 25 or whatever. If you knew that the Seahawks were going to come down the field and just kick a field goal anyway, at least give your team the chance to go down and get a field goal. Go jumbo package. Stevenson could have run it. Direct snap it to Stevenson. Fuck it. But, yeah, I mean, what can you really do? This is kind of exactly what everyone expected from the Patriots coming into the season. And now that they won last week, all of a sudden people are expecting them to just go 17-0. That's not how it works. This run heavy, unable to throw the ball to anyone but the tight ends offense is exactly what we all had in mind. And it does suck to see, but it sucks to see a little bit less than Mac Jones behind center doing whatever the fuck that was. At least Jacoby Brissett can, throw the ball away when he needs to and just take care of it, hold on, and just go down for the sack. Defense. I don't know what was happening in the defense, and it's going to get even worse, I guess, because Jawan Bentley's out for this. Will probably be out for a while. He has a torn pec. So it's not. Judon had a torn bicep. So that's a little bit worse than a torn pec from what I've been reading. But still, Bentley is a leader on that offense at the linebacker position. So people are cherry picking Gonzalez's stats like, oh, he's gone up against DK Metcalf, Tyreek Hill. And yeah, when he's the primary defender against DK Metcalf, he was good. But when he was in zone against him, when he was relying on other players to get DK, he kind of sucked. So I think they need to start putting him out there on his own island. They kind of went over to that zone when Jamar Chase was getting all those catches in the second half against the Bengals last week. So anyway, things might get a little bit dicey here. They got the Jets up on, tonight, Thursday night. So we'll see how that goes. I do think that they could possibly win the game, but I'm not relying on it. Jets haven't looked that great either. Saints continue to roll. I'm putting Rashid Shaheed in this week. I'm not leaving him on the bench again. Back-to-back weeks with 20 points. Yeah, you're taking Michael Pittman's spot, who has shit the bed and gotten 5.1 points this week, and he had like 3 points last week. It's something really bad. I lost in fantasy this week, so I'm a little bit pissed at you, Michael Pittman. Maybe a little bit more at Anthony Richardson, but I picked up Alec Pierce, so it's all good. Buccaneers, 7.5 point underdog, huh? Buccaneers come away with a 20-16 win against the Lions, in which the Lions offense couldn't get anything going. Buccaneers defense picked them up this week. They're playing the Broncos. Let's go. I'm digging the Bucs to do some damage this year. Last year they were looking pretty good, and obviously they beat the Eagles in the playoffs. But why are people sleeping on them so much? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Packers beat the Colts, in which the fucking Colts looked like dog shit. Jets beat the Titans 24-17, in which Will Levis threw another intercept, or turned the ball over again after being mid-sack and throwing the ball right before his fucking pelvis hit the ground. What are you doing? Well, pelvis. Vikings upset the 49ers, and things really aren't looking good for the 49ers. Deebo Samuel's going to be out for a little bit. So many injuries this week. It's crazy. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got fucking Kenneth Walker was out this week and might be out again next week. Tua, obviously. Pacheco. Yeah, a lot of fantasy-relevant players got hurt. But yeah, Vikings win that game 23-17. Commanders won an exciting game 21-18 against the Giants in the Suckfest. The Chargers beat the Panthers 26-3. And this actually got Bryce Young benched. Benched for Andy Dalton. How bad do you have to be benched for Andy Dalton on this Carolina Panthers offense? Holy shit. He must be really doing bad in practice, too, because Dave Canales, this new coaching staff, doesn't have any ties to him, so they're just going to get rid of him the minute they see no improvement from him. And that's what they've done. So we'll see if Andy Dalton can come in and work some magic, just like Sam Darnold is working some magic up there in Minnesota. Browns won 18-13 in an ugly game. Raiders beat the Ravens. Ravens, I hate you. I hate you. This was an obvious fucking win for you. Come on. You were the only team in my 3-leg parlay that lost. I also had Bucks plus 7.5 and then Saints plus 6.5. It was the easiest parlay ever until you went and fucking lost to the Raiders. 26-23. Just ugly. At least some of my NFL picks were doing good. I did Cardinals money line. Cardinals beat the Rams 41-10. And holy shit, like I said earlier, Kyler Murray was listening to all of us and got Marvin Harrison the ball early. 4 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is why you drafted Marvin Harrison. Not to be out there being a decoy for whatever the fuck that was last week against the Bills. This is what it's supposed to be. Steelers win an ugly one against the Broncos 13-6. Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25 on a last-minute field goal. I'm surprised the Bengals put up as much of a fight as they did against the Chiefs. This one was at the very least interesting on paper, but it wasn't that great of a game. Texans won 19-13 against the Bears. But some funny stuff did come out of it. CJ Stroud after the game talking to Caleb Williams like, keep your head up, man. They chose you number 1 overall for a reason. And then SportsCenter just... They did this with Bijan last year where they did the overhead cam and they kind of... they made the... what is that called when they focus in on the head and make the head still while everything else is moving? They did that this year for a Caleb Williams interception. Oh, man, even SportsCenter's clowning on him. Come on. This is hilarious.
2 receivers each way. Caleb Williams gets the snap. Caleb Williams in trouble. And Danielle Hunter can't get him down. Williams escapes to the right, throws downfield, and intercepted by Lassiter. Runs upfield, 45, and he's out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. The rookie with his first INT.
Corey Lassiter down the field. Everybody said the same thing. Is he fast enough to be the starting corner? Yes, because he makes plays like that all the time.
Caleb Williams is bad. And then the Monday Night Football game, the Falcons come away with the last-second touchdown against the Eagles to win 22-21. Drake London, thank you so much. Oh, my God. I won 147-145 in my other league because Drake London scored that last-second game-winning touchdown. I cannot thank you enough for revitalizing this offense, Kirk Cousins. Thank you. Maybe next week I'll feel like you in this game and not so much. Maybe I'll have a bad week next week. Is that how the cycle goes? All right. But yeah, that's it for week 2 for the NFL. Let's go over our week 3 games here. So like I said, the Patriots play the Jets tonight in Meadowlands. Hopefully Christian Gonzalez doesn't tear his ACL. That would be the only thing I would be worried about. Fucking knock on wood here. Giants, Browns, but Bears, Colts. Maybe the Colts can get something going. Saints, Eagles will probably be a good game at 1 o'clock on Fox. Steelers have to go up against an actual offense in the Chargers this week. And I thought this was weird. The Chargers are actually staying on the East Coast here and then going up to Pittsburgh on Sunday after staying in North Carolina all week. Broncos, Buccaneers. Like I said, I pick up the Buccaneers defense because the Broncos suck. Dolphins, Seahawks. Ravens, Cowboys might be a good game. We'll see if Lamar Jackson can have a bounce back one because he only scored fucking 15 fantasy points this week. Lamar, come on. Lions, Cardinals, I think will be a good game. Chiefs, Falcons on Sunday night. And then we actually got our Monday night doubleheader. Jaguars at the Bills and the Commanders at the Bengals. Both at least start by 8:30. At least there's not a game on the West Coast that starts at fucking 10. That's all you can ask for on a Monday night doubleheader. Scroll Twitter here. See if there's anything I forgot. Probably. Oh, and I've been noticing this a lot. Hey, how about instead of enforcing when a lineman's helmet isn't in line with the center's ass, we enforce calling delay of game when the clock hits 0. There have been way too many times already where that clock has hit double zeros and nothing has happened. It's not a second past when it hits 0. It's right when it hits 0. Call that fucking flag, please. I'm getting tired of all these illegal formations when there should just be a bunch of delay of games. Come on. You're stretching it out a little bit. Oh, I guess this is sports related too. Let's go over this for a second. UFC Noche, they called it. UFC 306 was at the Sphere in Vegas. I mean, look at these videos. I mean, these are fucking awesome visuals.
From the beginning of time, our world has been shaped by fighting. Hand-to-hand combat is the genesis of sport. Primal competition with universal appeal. Every corner of the globe has fighting traditions and heroes. But no culture embodies the fighting spirit more than Mexico. No place on earth has produced more legendary warriors. A heritage so ingrained in Mexico's identity, it's woven into the very fabric of the country. Only Mexico has a flag emblazoned with a fight. An eagle and a serpent. The eternal battle for the soul of a nation. This is the night we celebrate Mexico's independence and warrior spirit. This is the night the worlds of sports and entertainment come together. This is Noche UFC.
Now, it did kind of distract a little bit from the main event itself, because I mean that's crazy. All these visuals are insane. Even the fighters were kind of like, whenever they had a minute, looking up at the screen and how it looked like they had like a whole venue set up around it. It was fucking awesome, but a little bit distracting. Oh, dude, this Jason Kelsey dance is going to be memed to death. It will be. All right, last couple things here that are not sports related. I thank Taco Bell every single day for introducing me to Magdalena Bay. Go, please, if you have not listened to Magdalena Bay, listen. Their song Kill Shot is in one of the Taco Bell commercials. But their new album, Imaginal Disc, is insanely good. It is a crazy mix of pop, prog rock, it sounds like MGMT. There's some great 80s sounds in there from all the synths. It is a masterpiece. Go listen if you have not listened to any of Magdalena Bay, please. And the other bit of news, I have not platinumed the game, but I beat every single enemy in my first playthrough of Black Myth Wukong, including the Erlong boss fight, the secret boss fight at the end, and all of that good stuff.
The world knows every stir of your mind.
Dude, it is by far one of the best games I have ever played. Now, does the story stack up to something like, let's say, you know, the game that everyone's comparing it to, God of War? Does the story stack up to God of War? In my opinion, no, but that's because I don't know anything about the Journey to the West. So maybe if I knew a little bit more about it, I would be like, holy shit, this is so cool. Yeah, I know a little bit more about Norse mythology, I guess, than Chinese mythology. Great game. It is hard. It is frustrating at times, but it is so rewarding. Now I'm going to slave away to try to get to New Game Plus. Alrighty, everybody. I believe that's it. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hoagies N Pierogis is available everywhere. Our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple, all that good shit. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram for clips. And we'll leave you with this. Munch, 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 munch.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies N Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beijers go drink, mate. Let's go!